Yeah, so thank you for joining. We're going to continue our immersion into the Brahmaviharas using the what I call the riverbanks of Abhyasa and Vairagyam. And my focus this week with you is on the Brahmavihara we call Mudita. So in Mudita, the word means appreciative joy, means our ability to have happiness for the good fortune of somebody else, our freedom from comparison or envy or jealousy. So our feeling of appreciation for their good circumstances, insofar as that helps them to be the better version of themselves. We do want that for people. But sometimes we have a tiny habit of comparing or moving into jealousy or envy. Sometimes it's not a very tiny habit, it's a big thing. As we have this mental health condition called FOMO, fear of missing out, which was generated by the Facebook frenzy. And so people have this kind of looking at the life of others and measuring themselves, and often unfairly. So with mudita, we practice. I'm not going to recommend that you practice it on social media. In fact, you could put that stuff aside more often, not less often. But to really practice taking in the perception you even have of somebody else's life. It may not be a completely accurate perception, but to take in something that you sense somebody else is having a good circumstance or a beneficial experience, and to have appreciation for them to be in that situation without a tinge of comparison or envy, but just a sense of goodness on their behalf. The Brahmaviharas as practices are to awaken our hearts out of what we call the near enemy and the far enemy. So insofar as these practices are to awaken our hearts, to expand our hearts, it's not a negotiation or a kind of bargaining. We're not saying, I'll practice mudita for that person because then I'll have something come my way. We're not bargaining in this regard. And so to have that goodness on their behalf frees our hearts. We have the work to do about comparison or envy if that's something that we're susceptible to. So last week I was saying that, when we have a balanced experience in the body, when there's a sense that the prana is equally distributed and we're feeling an inner radiance, it's easier to feel the Brahmaviharas coming through. But when there's places in the body that are out of balance, or there's a system in the body that's causing other systems to be a little bit wonky, let's say digestion or endocrine system, or the feeling that there's stagnation somewhere in the body and there's excess somewhere else, it's just harder to feel the Brahmaviharas as your natural state. And so to remind us that it's native in us that we have this mudita and karuna, compassion, and metta or mayatri, loving kindness, and upekshanam, equanimity, to remind us that those are native to us. We're going to balance the systems of the body and then see what that feels like in the heart. So please take your comfortable and upright seat as you know it to be, and you can rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes if you like. And when you take your seat and you bring your attention within, drop into the breath and use it to sense in the verticality of the central channel of your body. Where is there now clarity or dullness or excess? And sometimes when you're first checking in with yourself, what you get the information from is what I call the foam on the ocean. You get this kind of surface layer experience of how you're doing, but when you drop in after a couple breath cycles, you may realize that actually in the central channel, there's nothing hindered. There is a clarity, even if you had, let's say, poor sleep or difficult news or some kind of angst that has come your way. Deeper than that, there may be this resource still very, very much present with you. Bring in the Ujjayi breath now so that breath awareness turns into Ujjayi, a very subtle form of the Ujjayi. Listen for the smoothness of the sound of your breath. And then raise your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. So in our practice today, may we be relieved from the habit of comparison or jealousy or envy. May we come back to the innate quality of mudita. Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityodama Amritam Gamaya Asatama Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityodama Amritam Gamaya Asatoma Satkamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityodama Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namah Hari You may, as you like, bow your head to your heart. Release your hands when you're ready to, and open your eyes. Okay. So yesterday, one of the practices I was teaching in our 10 a.m. class, which was actually for the third chakra, was this practice of the prostrations that we do And we're going to move towards that again this morning. And yesterday I only taught a portion of it, and I was asked a question, well, how would you bring in the whole practice? So we will be taking a look at that today. I'd like you to start right now in Vajrasana, in a kneeling position. And when you come to kneeling, take the fists like this to the sides of the thighs. So this is one of those balancing practices that we're doing to help move prana, to redistribute it in the body. And come to the outer hips, and then the kidneys and the back waist, and the sides of the waist there. Come forward. And then rise up to your seat and go on the abdomen. So we go up the right, across, down the left. And right now, since you are kneeling, you have less circulation going down the legs. And let's bring that to a close. Rest your hands in your lap. Notice what's happening, whatever sensations you have there. Okay, so when we're kneeling like this, our energy in terms of circulation is kind of consolidated into the torso, not as much down the legs, particularly if you were also to come to child's pose. So compression and decompression is part of what we're going to be doing. Let's get a little bit more energy moving in the abdomen here using Vastrika. So you can picture that there's a candle about this far in front of you. We're going to blow that out vigorously. Now long exhale. Then inhale lower, middle, and upper into suspension. For inhale suspension, snug the low belly in and up to lift and brighten the chest. And then exhale out through the nose. Now a little bit quicker. Inhale through the nose. Suspension. And exhale slowly out through the nose. And now Kapalabhati. And you won't be kneeling for much longer, but thanks for sticking with it. In Kapalabhati. Exhale. Inhale to suspension. In your own timing, exhale completely. One more. And then exhale completely. Inhale to suspension. And exhale completely. Now, having had this time of compression for the legs, please lie on your back. Take the legs out straight. You can imagine the movement going down the legs. You can also feel that circulation returning towards your toes. Of course, that's still happening, so allowing for that. The return from the belly down through the legs is a part of what we call apana vayu. So make the left leg now deliberately long. Reach out through the back of your left heel. Bring your right knee up to your chest. And as you inhale, you can have your head and shoulders on the floor. When you exhale, curl up so your head goes towards your knee. Inhale, return the upper back and your head to the floor. And exhale, curl up. Inhale, roll your upper torso down. And exhale to curl up. Inhale, roll down while keeping some tone in your belly muscles. And once more, exhale to curl up. Now as you inhale to come down, reach your right heel up towards the ceiling, whatever amount your right leg can do. And then exhale and take your right leg slowly back down to the floor. Of course, it'll arrive next to your left leg eventually. And when your right leg does find the floor, relax your right leg quite completely. Relax the whole body. Bring your left knee towards your chest. So this redistribution is also, this is a pose, a little practice called Uphanasana, which encourages that apana vayu. So inhale when your head and shoulders are on the floor, and then exhale to curl up. Inhale, roll the upper torso down. And on your exhale, roll up. Follow your own breath pace, and notice the tone is in the belly for both inhale and exhale. One more time, curl up. And then roll down and take your left heel up towards the ceiling. Whatever amount of straight or vertical you can do. And then exhale and slowly take your left leg with control from the psoas and the inner belly. Lower it down. And then let it again completely relax. So both legs just completely relax. And then bring both knees up to your chest. And as you inhale, head and shoulders on the floor. When you exhale, curl up towards the knees. Inhale to roll down through your upper body, shoulders and head. And exhale to curl up. One more time, please. And you can use the smoothness of the Ujjayi breath in the process. And then roll your upper torso down. Take both legs up towards the ceiling. Make them strong. And then exhale and lower both legs slowly, slowly down towards the floor. You are using the belly muscles. And then totally relax the legs when they come down. And now take the feet, and what you do is you make these little toe presses. So the whole body gets this little shake, and you can rotate your head right and left to release some of the muscles of the neck also. The movement is entirely coming from the feet. So make that rhythmic for yourself. Let the head keep also being moved by the rotation both of the neck, but also the pulsation of the feet. So when you go to turn your head side to side, if you're choosing that, don't let the muscles of rotation overwhelm the pulsation of the feet, giving a little rock to the neck and the throat. And then bring that to a close. Lie perfectly still. Okay, please bend your knees. Roll to your side. Come up to table pose. All right, so now we're going to practice the first part of the prostration that you were learning yesterday, then we'll take it to the full practice. It is very connected to the sun salutation. I just need to move this harmonium. Okay, come to table pose, please. And in table pose, you're going to want to be able to also bring your chest and heart down between your thumbs, like this. And then you scooch forward into a low cobra pose. The shoulders will be back as they are right now. And that becomes inchworm pose. And that becomes table pose. Okay, so let's inhale from here, cat pose. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cat. Cow pose, bring your heart forward. And now touch the heart down. Scooch forward. Scooch backwards. Press up. And cat pose. Child's pose. Cat pose. Exhale, cow. Inhale, inchworm. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, inchworm. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale to cat. And exhale, child's pose. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Rise up to kneeling and prepare for the next, more difficult, shall I say. We're going to add this to the practice. So palms together. Inhale, raise your arms like an arrow. And then exhale, bow forward. You're coming into child's pose. Use the lower belly to come down. Palms on the floor. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, inchworm. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, inchworm. Exhale, cow. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, thunderbolt pose. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow. Inhale, inchworm. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, inchworm. Exhale, cow. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child's pose. And inhale, thunderbolt pose. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, rise up into Prasarita Padottanasana, please. Take a wide stance and come on down to your forward bend. So that practice is the first part of prostration. There's just one more thing that we'll be adding to it. But as you come down now to Prasarita, just check and see what's happening with the fullness of the Ujjayi inhale and Ujjayi exhale. Now in Prasarita Padottanasana, we do have a little bit of compression. We're bending forward, so there's compression on the femoral artery. Sometimes why people, when they go to stand up, they feel a little bit lightheaded because their body is sort of recalibrating the circulation and the pressure in the body. You walk your hands forward in this Prasarita. Glide your hips back. And then as you exhale, bend your knees and slide your hips back so it's like you're about to sit on a park bench behind you. So the hips are going back. Your fingertips will probably have to walk a little bit towards your toes. Try to bend the knees so that your knees are in line with your toes. So this is a deeper sense of compression at the hip joint because you are now closing the femoral artery a little bit more. Not in a bad way, just that I'm naming that it's happening. And then exhale, press down from your hips to your heels, straighten the legs, walk your fingers forward again, make the pose more spacious. And then hands back to your hips, and as you rise up to standing, you may get a sense of how there was compression at the femoral arteries, because when you stand up, let's go heel toe, you may have again that feeling of circulation going back down your legs. Okay, take the hands, please, and start shaking them. This is called slug shaking. And when you're doing this shaking, let it be like your arms are like rubbery. Let's take them out to the side. And forward. One up and one down. Opposite. Both up. And then down 3 times vigorously. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there you're asking for the energy, again, not to be stagnant anywhere in the trunk or the torso, but to move down the arms to the hands, down the legs to the feet, and also to recirculate back. Right, so now we'll do the prostration. I have to change the camera because you won't be able to see me. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So let's try it out. So you're going to be at the back of your mat in Uttanasana. I know you can't see me entirely when I'm on this camera. When I stand up, you miss part of my body, in other words, the head. So from here, you're then going to come down. And then we come up to Thunderbolt. And then we'll be proceeding forth. So let me move this cord out of the way. Okay, and then when we come back from Thunderbolt, we touch down. You curl the toes under. You come back to Uttanasana, and you rise up. And at that point, you're not going to be able to see my head, but it's still here. Okay, so in mountain pose with the feet together. Inhale, raise your arms. And exhale, Uttanasana, feet together. Let's do heart forward, inhale. You come over the toes, knees down, bow your head to the floor, point the toes. Inhale, Thunderbolt. Exhale, forward. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Bring the heart forward. You're already in a little back bend there. And then inhale, heart down. Exhale, cobra. Energize your legs. Inhale, inchworm. Exhale, cow. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, thunderbolt. Exhale, hands next to the knees. We bow the head to the floor. Curl the toes under. Inhale, Uttanasana legs. Exhale to bow deeply towards the legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale over the toes, knees to the floor, bowing the head. Inhale, thunderbolt. Exhale, forward. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, heart bow. Exhale, cobra. Inhale, inchworm. Exhale, cow. Inhale to cat. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, thunderbolt. Exhale, hands to the floor, forehead to the floor. Toes under. Inhale, raise your hips towards Uttanasana. Exhale, bow towards the legs. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. And exhale, hands to the heart. And notice again all how energy has moved through the body. And we'll take a wide stance in the jazz stance, warm-up pose. Yeah. You can gaze down on the floor. So your head is at an angle with the spine. And as you're gazing down, it's okay to close your eyes actually and bring your awareness to the pelvic floor. Last week, we were also venturing into what it means to do exhale suspension. So become aware of the inhalation, the smoothness, up into the inhale pause, which is going to feel like you're still inhaling, but no air is coming. And then follow your exhale down to the exhale pause. Again, it will feel like you're still exhaling, but no more air is leaving. And exhale one more time in this position. And inhale, rise up. Make the feet parallel. Come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. As you come down, walk the hands forward. Continue awareness of the inhale into the inhale suspension. Actually, inhale pause, excuse me. Let me just say inhale pause. And exhale into the exhale pause. When you feel comfortable in Prasarita here, I'm going to ask you to follow your exhale into the exhale pause. And at the bottom of the exhale, without inhaling, to radically relax the exhale muscles. So you'll feel the exhale pause and the moment of suction, and then tone the belly before inhaling. So it's just a brief suction or vacuum in the inner body. And please try that one more time. So one more full cycle for yourself. And then place your hands firmly and step your feet back to downward dog pose. Now in downward dog pose, because you're using the arms and the arm strength, there's actually a slight advantage for some of us to learn this technique. So we're going to inhale, enjoy the inhale pause. Exhale, at the end of the exhale in the pause, while holding the inhale out, you can momentarily again deeply relax the exhale muscles and notice the vacuum that comes to the deep inner belly. And then when you're ready to, please transition forward to table, touch your knees to the floor, and return to Vajrasana. The practice of these suspensions, the exhale suspension and the Uddiyana Bandha, is really important, very specific about cleansing and balancing the chakras and the Sushumna Nadhi. So we want to be sure that the energy that has to be eliminated, the apana, goes down. We have done that process to the best of our ability before we're practicing raising energy up, which we also want to do, so that apana and prana are balancing. And what happens is you're releasing more and more the mental habit of, let's say for this morning, the mental habit of comparison or jealousy or envy. So now taking a block to be on the floor like this, or you can have it flat, or you can use no block if you have the flexibility for it. Please place your fists in the lower belly. So this is an inhale while you're upright, and then we exhale and come down, and the fists are supporting the exhale to be more complete. On this one, at the end of the exhale, you're holding the breath out, no inhale is coming, and you deeply relax the exhale muscles and stay as long as you like in the vacuum or the suction. And then you'll tone the low belly to inhale and rise up. And you tone the low belly so that the inhale is not gasping. You're not like popping a cork. It's a smooth inhale. So let's begin with the inhale while you're upright. And then exhale, curl over so the fists are in the belly. At the completion of your exhale, hold the breath out. Relax the exhale muscles. And just live in the quiet of the exhale suction. And then you're going to tone the low belly before you inhale in your own timing. Then inhale and rise up. And repeat 3 times. When you come to your last one, then you can rest one hand in the lap of the other. That practice is to balance apana and vayu. It stimulates the digestive and cleansing process. Cleansing here means also elimination. Now you've been kneeling again for some time, so please shift into Dandasana. Sit on your hips with your legs out in front. And watch the circulation going down the legs. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to practice moving the energy up. So going from the pelvis upwards. So as you're sitting, take a side view here. As you're sitting, please bend both knees so your feet are parallel and they're hip distance apart. Take the hands behind, press into your fingerprints, your knuckles, and if possible, the heels of the hands. Roll your shoulders back, raise your heart up. Now, as you're doing this practice, squeeze the shoulders back and open the chest and heart. Use your shoulder blades on the back side. And then pressing into both heels and all 10 toes. Inhale, raise your hips up. It's called reverse table pose. Now you are having some compression from the shoulder joints. So there is a lot of strength in the hands, arms, and shoulders, flexibility in the upper back. There's also a change of circulation down the arms. So breathe in. And keeping the heart open, lower your hips down. It's like a back bend on the way down too. And then inhale, come up to Dandasana, reach your arms forward. And then rest your hands. So you're going to notice that there's circulation going back down the arms. Okay, bend your knees. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, slide the hands down and back. Roll the shoulders open. Inhale to go up. Exhale, lower the hips down. Keep your chest and heart open. Inhale, raise your hands forward and up. Exhale, Dandasana. Okay, bend the knees. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, hands down and back. Inhale to go up. Exhale, hips down, heart up. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, Dandasana and Paschimottanasana. Inhale, rise up. Dandasana, upward hands pose. Exhale, bend the knees. Take the hands down and back. Inhale, reverse table. Last one, exhale, hips down, chest and heart still up. Inhale, raise your arms forward and up. Exhale, Paschimottanasana. Exhale, cross the ankles, rest your hands out over your knees. Okay, so that's another way of bringing the energy up. So this upward we call vayu, going up. Now we're going to do a practice. I'm going to sit on a bolster. This is also to raise energy, and this is going to precede Shavasana. Thank you for being willing to have some differences in your practice this morning. So sit as you would for meditation, or sit cross-legged, or whatever. It's going to be a little bit of a bind to the legs, a little bit less circulation going down. This is also why we recommend eating sitting on the floor. So circulation is really here in the torso. So you eat sitting cross-legged on the floor. Okay, take the arms up, thumbs up, and Kapalabhati. Exhale completely. Inhale, join the palms. Inhale, suspension. Exhale, release the arms. Bring your hands down, palms face up. Just holding the palms open in the release of comparison, jealousy, or envy, and the fullness of trusting what we are experiencing is the journey we're meant to be having and not someone else's. Please come down to Shavasana. Make yourself comfortable in your Shavasana. And in Shavasana, you could have a practice of imagining a further release of the habits, the mental habits that are like synonymous with comparison. Even how judgment comes in there. Sometimes you're comparing and judging, or you're comparing, judging, and justifying. I'm not saying you uniquely, I'm saying in the species, in the human species, these are the habits. Come down to rest in Shavasana and let that which is ready to kind of die away. Shavasana does mean the corpse pose. So I like to say that which is dying away, that which you are able to send downstream. You're kind of liberating yourself from it. Allow that process to continue as you deeply relax these mental habits. Listen for what comes in their place, what you are liberating, what you are freeing up. And stay with the process, that which is dying away, that which your body is releasing, and that which you're opening yourself to. Just one more minute, allowing that process, that which is dying away, and that which is coming forward, that which is already in you, but as it gets revealed, it comes to the foreground. It's not in the background. It's larger than you, more expansive than you, but it does not stay hidden in the background. Now, as you rest for the last short time here, try to be in the witness mind, so sensing that
which is already in you, often hidden in the background behind the busyness of the mind, the stress of daily life. But has it come forward? It's not leaving the background, but is it filling out more of the midground and maybe the foreground of your attention too? And then please wiggle your fingers and your toes and make a thoughtful transition to return to sitting. When you come to sit, sit upright in a pose that you can sustain, and bring your hands out to the mudra for the first chakra, please. Bring your attention down to the base. So this is one more way that we bring the energy up. So we maintain a clear vision of this, let's say mudita, or a clear vision of our capacity in the heart. The word is lam at the base. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Second. Wam, 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 wam. Wam, 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 wam. Wam, 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 wam. Third. Ram, 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 ram. Ram, 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 ram. Ram 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 Ram. Fourth. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum. Fifth. Hum 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 hum. Hum 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 hum. Hum 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 hum. Nadi Shodhana. And then rest your hands in your lap. And please raise your hands to your heart. Thank you all very much for being here.
Thank you, thank you. Namaste. Mudita is not an easy practice. It seems like one of the more simple of the Brahmaviharas, but none of them is actually easy. Remind yourself it's intended to free your heart from the clutches of comparison or envy. We may not always agree with how other people are experiencing their goodness, or they have a kind of happiness. We may not always agree with how they've gotten there, but we can have a good feeling towards them being the better version of themselves when they are in that happiness. And that's again to free our hearts that we aren't stuck in comparison. Now, ideally, if we sense somebody, their good circumstance or their beneficial opportunity is that they're moving up on the spiritual path, we can have this beautiful quality towards them and also see them as laying the stepping stones that we might be able to walk on too. So we're not being left out. So, thank you all. I'm going to go where I can see the chat. Let me just get the mouse. I have to use the mouse to see the chat. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I get to see the chat like that. Thank you. It's bigger somehow today. I don't know why. I see. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for your appreciation there. May this practice ripple through your day. I'm going to be heading to Brighton Bush Hot Springs in about 4 hours. I'm going up to help them with a consultation on a major project. So I'll announce that to you guys when the time comes. In the meantime, please have a beautiful morning, and I'll see you for our next time together. Thank you very much.